3.7, so technically I would say he won that because I think my aircraft was worth more. It's got a longer lockout here. So at least that's the way I look at it. Same thing like when it comes to like rams and stuff like that. Like if somebody rams you and their plane was like a 3.3 and you were in a 2.3, you win. Like even though you died, you won. So whoever had the more expensive and the more you know, harder to access aircraft loses that situation as far as contributions to the team. At least that's the way I look at it. Now we do have same exact concept as before. We brought the bomb, even though it's super busy in the airspace. There's tons of people fighting, and going back to what we were talking about earlier with the bombs, like, all right, look, 100 silver cats to bring this bomb. That's nothing, right? 250 kilos. That's a 500-pound bomb, basically, enough to destroy a tank if I get it close enough. Which, yeah, in a good dive run, you should be able to. And there's ground targets available. So those are kind of like the factors that I'm looking at. And for me, it's a pretty big no-brainer. Because if I get into a dogfight, I'll just throw the bomb away, and I'll go dogfight. As if I had never brought the bomb to begin with. But if I am able to make it all the way to those tanks uninterrupted, and I have an opportunity to drop that bomb and maybe get a kill, that could put a bunch more spawn points on the board for me, put a few more victory conditions for my team, and every little bit helps, especially over the course of 3 hours. So you get a bunch of people on your team that are kind of flying with that mentality, you can really rack up a lot of points pretty quickly. Those look like friendly returning bombers there. So that's the whole mentality behind it. Basically go out there and try to bomb, but if anything, like, you know, if you see somebody kind of pulling your tail, just get rid of it. Don't feel like you're married to the bomb, because it's only 100 silver cats. But that only 100 silver cats can get you a lot of spawn points. It can make the difference between a win and a loss. It might not seem like these EC matches that last for 3 hours would come down to the wire, and they don't always come down to the wire. Sometimes it's a landslide victory, but you'd be very surprised how often I have seen the these matches come all the way down to 1 kill. Like, come all the way down to 1 ground objective or 1 air superiority. And I'm talking like, you know, you're within hundreds of points of each other after each team has scored almost 150,000 points. That might seem far-fetched, and I mean, if I didn't have the experience that I did, and I heard that same story, I'd kind of be rolling my eyes too. But I see it a lot. These games can really come down to the wire. And winning a game like this, turning an entire 3 hours of flying into a victory and getting that match bonus, that can mean a lot. And it all starts, you know, on a tactical level, at the individual level, having that mentality of like, yes, I'm in a fighter, yes, I want a dogfight, but I can also do some other stuff. You know, I can also bang on a howitzer too. You know, if you're RTB because your flap got ripped off or your aileron's gone or something like that, and you're heading back home, right? And you're on your way back, and you're gonna go land here and go get rearmed and repaired, and you see an enemy howitzer and you got 1,000 rounds in the gun, you know, take a couple pot shots at it, because sometimes it can be worth it. And even if it doesn't make the difference between you winning the game, you'll at least get a couple more spawn points out of it. And these are always really good to have. Hey guys, thank you for keeping the song requests going, dude. You guys are fucking rock stars, man. I'd say if we... Yes, I am here. I've just been climbing and heading to the bow. Alright, so we are 8,000 feet, coming up on the tanks now. These red rectangles right here are advancing enemy tanks. One of those tanks has my 250 kilogram bomb written all over it. Hopefully, anyway, as long as I don't miss. Trick is to find them. Alright, there's the howitzers, so they've got to be down. Yep, alright, there's the tanks. Yes! And that's what I'm talking about. That's 100% what I'm talking about. I might actually put that into a YouTube.